Hello, Steamboat, how you doing? Got a new show for your viewing. Having breakfast, just keep chewing. And with your support, we'll be cruising. Hello, Steamboat.
After all the jacks are in the boxes, and the clowns have all stacked.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick Lagorga. I'm here practicing another song for my show on YouTube, Good Morning Acoustics. You can follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Acoustics, or you can give me a like on Facebook at Good Morning Acoustics. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Steamboat is recorded live from the Chief Theater.
Hello, Steamboat, how you doing? Got a new show for your viewing. Having breakfast, just keep chewing. And with your support, we'll be cruising. Hello, Steamboat.
After all the jacks are in the boxes, and the clowns have all stacked.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick Lagorga. I'm here practicing another song for my show on YouTube, Good Morning Acoustics. You can follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Acoustics, or you can give me a like on Facebook at Good Morning Acoustics. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Steamboat is recorded live from the Chief Theater.
Thank you, Dr. Strange. Hello, Steamboats. BTC, welcome back. Monday morning, Greatness Harv, L-Train. Let's give it to him. Recap.
Recap?
Yeah. Lay it on them.
Sailors, we're talking Sailors
We're
football,
talking
right?
Sailors first.
Okay.
Just a tough game. Should have won. Shouldn't have even been in a
position where we had to make a game-winning play. Should have just been dominating the entire time.
Yeah, late start, with slow start?
Yeah, slow start. We were down 13-0 at halftime. So
Four turnovers.
Killed them. 4 turnovers.
Three in the first
3
half.
before halftime. Just silly mistakes killed us, and we got to bounce back a lot better than that.
Yeah.
How did the fumble at the 1 go in the? How did that affect the team? Because I mean, you guys were driving. It felt like, okay, we're going to get a score here right before half, and then.
Yeah, the fumble at the 1 was a missed exchange between Grant Keller and Drew, and Drew just didn't get the ball into. On film, you can see he just didn't get the ball into the basket well enough, and those are just the silly things that we need to work on, and now we're sitting at 1-3, definitely not where we want to be, but hopefully we can make good on it versus Hotchkiss on Friday.
What did you see from the sweat box, as you told me, because it was a 4 o'clock start?
It was a sweat lodge.
Sweat lodge.
Yes. Well, I was in the press box, and the sun came down on the middle school field.
Yeah.
It was shining like right in our face, and I just kept moving back, further and further back. So I was like just trying to get whatever shade there was.
As I was listening, I heard you say, "Sit on the school side because it's bacon over there." Did they brought in the bleachers or something?
Yeah, you would have done better if you were like you guys were smart, because the Steamboat sailors were on the side that had the shadows, much like Mile High, just like the Denver Broncos.
Right.
So those guys were bacon. I thought the sailors played really played well. It was the turnovers that crushed them. I felt we dominated this team. I'm sure that it was a bitter loss in the locker room because it felt like there was a quarterback and number 12.
13?
No, on their team.
Oh.
Who the kid lit it up. He had 3 touchdowns, I think number 12 did.
That was the one.
And he found a seam. It hurt not having Tanner, but that's football.
Yeah.
We got a couple more injuries too out of this one. So, but all in all, the Sailors are they're hanging tough.
Right.
We're not getting blown out.
Competitive.
And I've seen a lot of blowouts. So you guys are playing hard. You're leaving it on the field, but I'm sure it's not the result that the Steamboat Sailors want. I didn't even want to talk to Coach Baumgartner after the game because I felt like you guys played really well, and maybe were outplayed by Moffat County because they were a better team.
Okay.
But also we had a bunch of injuries during that game, so I felt if we were full, excuses. But they're leaving it on the field, and it was certainly a competitive game, and I'm sure that one left a bitter taste in your mouth.
How about Hotchkiss coming up? We got any film? You got any knowledge?
Yeah, I mean we'll be looking at it today during film at practice, so we don't know a lot at this moment, but. It's just another one of those smaller schools. Definitely not going to be the best team we play this year. Going to be a lot like Middle Park, I think, and this is a must-win game.
And it's the first game at
Are
Gardner
we here?
Field.
Yeah.
We're in Gardner Field. That's the word.
Do you know anything from covering these games way back and always? Any Hotchkiss stuff?
I got nothing.
Nothing?
No, I don't remember us ever playing Hotchkiss.
Okay. I don't think we have.
So Middle Park, we've never played Middle Park before.
Right.
Definitely never played Manual before.
Right.
So they've got a bunch of, I think, competitive games. It's a great way for you guys to start. We're building the football program.
Yeah.
It's taken a lot longer than we'd like, but I think we still got some wins left in us. Unfortunately, Battle Mountain rolled Moffat County.
Really?
So Battle Mountain might be the real deal, but they only beat these guys 14-6 or 14-7.
True.
So
14-7.
it's all matchups,
Sure.
right? Football's a weird game.
Yeah, it's hard to garner how the game will finish just based off of film and scores. So
Well, true, and you never know with high school kids, because one week to another you'll see a team that has a bunch of starters, and then those starters get in trouble on Saturday night because they play
that
football,
could happen.
and then they're not available the next week.
Understandable.
You guys are being good boys, right?
yeah, we are really the only
Good.
thing that's holding us back is injuries. Grant Keller, he's out for the
it's huge.
season.
And he really started coming on.
Yeah, he was our backup quarterback too.
What did he do?
He broke his fibia.
Jesus.
So
That one looked like it hurt.
He's
Yeah.
out for 12 weeks. He's out for
done.
the rest of the season.
Oh,
Yep.
man, sorry to hear that, Grant. Let's go NFL. I was in Silverthorne with Drew Gotts getting some golf on. I saw no NFL, but I saw a nice long thread of communication between my boys, and I felt lonely and missed, like I didn't get to chime in. And you guys had great exchanges.
I was mean.
You were a little,
But I was actually defending
still correct.
I was defending
I
your
know
Raiders.
you were. I was.
So then the Broncos are really bad, but the way the Raiders, I mean, they're 0-2.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't matter. You're 0-2, which I get that point.
Yeah.
But the Raiders look good against the Rams.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't until the
That's-
final 2 minutes.
No, that's not
You
true.
saw the Rams
Blow.
absolutely blow out Arizona. And when is Rosen going to play?
Yeah.
But that's a topic for
lower
another
question,
discussion.
Sure.
And then, look, the Raiders had the Broncos all game. I mean,
Really?
it was a
They're-
close game.
Yeah, that's where Gruden shines in bouncing back like that. He knew what he had to do to come in and not get blown out like they did against the Rams, and they played terrible against the Rams. I don't know how you can sit there and tell me they played good. I mean, Derek Carr looked
First
like,
half, they looked great.
Weren't they leading in
Like,
the
were
first
we
half?
But
watching
you have to understand, though, the Rams' entire offense didn't play a single snap in preseason. That was their first game for them.
So what? They were practicing.
They dominated the game. It was 33-13.
Second half.
Yeah, 33-13. I don't know how you can tell me the Raiders played good. Against the Broncos, they played okay. Obviously, the Broncos came down to that last-second field goal, but John Gruden, he's a great coach, and he's able to make adjustments like that. Like I said, like I've been saying for months, there's not enough talent on that Raiders team where you can just sit there and say, oh, well, John Gruden, it doesn't matter.
Well,
So
I never said that. I just
You
said
guys
they're
have
not
been
as
saying that for
and I
so
never
long.
ever said that they were going to win the division. I never said that.
Drew
you
Gotts did.
put those words
No.
into my mouth.
Sounds like
I
Drew Lock.
never ever said that. I just said they were going to be respectable.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to be. And I think they're that. But we've got a lot of football left.
Absolutely.
How about the Chiefs?
Can we
man?
stay in the AFC West? This
I mean-
Mahomes kid, I'm looking at 10 touchdowns in 2 games.
But let me also. This is
We pumping the brakes?
we got to be careful because this is the way Andy Reid teams start. Last year, do you remember? Alex Smith and the Chiefs went into New England and rolled the Patriots.
Yep.
The Super Bowl defending, winning Patriots.
Yeah, those
Yep.
guys.
And they cool down at the end of the year, or
Yeah.
teams figure them out, or there's injuries, or they can't sustain when it gets cold. I don't know what it is, but Mahomes. Man, am I glad I got him on my fantasy football team.
I heard you got a fantasy win, though? Is that
I
help?
did a very surprising one. I didn't have.
First half, you must have been scared.
Were you?
because-
I
because
didn't even have Leonard Fournette.
Oh, that's right.
And
didn't even play.
Roethlisberger looked terrible first
Roethlisberger
quarter.
was down 20-0, finished with almost he had like
400. Yeah.
He came
450 something pass yards and 5 touchdowns. So
Can either one of you explain the kicker Gonzalez from Cleveland? And tell me what happened?
He's going to be looking for a job.
He is.
He will be looking for a job.
Travis, Mountain View Car Wash.
the fact that Dan Bailey doesn't have a job in the NFL is astounding.
Kicker
and
from
didn't-
Dallas?
The kicker from Dallas,
Yeah.
the second most consistent kicker in NFL history, and
He's
it
working
wasn't
his
just Zane Gonzalez either. I mean, there was a plethora of teams who were struggling in the kicking game.
But we all got to watch that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like he missed what, 2 extra points, two or three field
Yeah.
goals.
Yep.
I mean, he could have tied the game and just
could have won the game.
And won.
won the game. And I mean, obviously,
Put
if
the
he
game
hit
out
all
of the way earlier.
those,
Yeah.
they won the game, and they outplayed New Orleans. Like here's Cleveland. You're going, oh man, they're 0-2, but you look, or no, they've got a tie.
They got a tie.
They got a
0-1.
tie. But that didn't they waste a first round pick on him? I mean, wasn't Gonzalez like an early pick in the draft?
He went. In,
I mean,
went
early.
in
He
the
wasn't
third,
first
He went in
round.
the third round. Yeah, third,
I'm
fourth
like,
round.
like pick.
Don't pick a kicker in the third round.
No,
Tampa Bay took Roberto Aguayo out of Florida State in the second round a couple years ago. He's not even
not playing
in the NFL.
anymore.
He's terrible
Exactly.
too.
Will you guys explain Fitzpatrick? He looked like Cam Newton to me in his
It's
press
magic.
conference. Oh, Fitzmagic, my bad. And I believe he said, "I'm just trying to stay humble."
It's an interesting
going on?
thing. He came in. Jameis Winston obviously is the regular starter down there in Tampa Bay. Fitzpatrick got just shoved into the lineup. You know, they picked him up with about a week left in training camp, and he's just been clicking with those wide receivers, Deshaun Jackson and Mike Evans. And, you know, it's really cool to see, because last week he put up 500 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Saints, who have a stingy, you know, secondary and defense overall. And everybody said, oh, man, this is a fluke game. You know, it's week 1. Does the same thing against the defending Super Bowl champions Philadelphia Eagles this week. So, you know, it's fun to watch.
He's still the same quarterback that threw 5 interceptions.
Exactly.
Against the Chiefs when he was a Jets quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this before.
Yep.
You don't want to keep him in for very long, because he heats up and then he boils over very quickly. But this is great for Tampa Bay, which is another one of those franchises that hasn't had a ton of success yet. They've got a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
But and I love the fact, because Jameis has been of questionable character.
Right.
I think this is great to create a little competition and not so. Right now, Jameis is getting humbled both on and off the field.
Sure.
And we'll see how he rebounds. This might be the best thing for Jameis.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
because he's going to have to compete for his job.
They're listening, especially if they end up going, you know, 4-0 while he's gone.
What do you do?
Then he walks in the locker room. He's like, "We're 4-0 right now. You know, you're gonna have to earn this job back."
And I think it's only a 3-game suspension.
It is.
It's only a 3-game.
That's right.
So this next week, we were thinking 2-1. I wrote this week off. I picked Philly. And boy,
I did too.
They've got a hangover.
I did too.
And they're going to get Wentz back. But you just said it about the Rams. He hasn't played in how long?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be almost over 9 months since
Foles doesn't look exceptional either, I don't think.
No. I think there's a lot of questions going on. I love Peterson. He's a good coach.
Yeah, the Wentz thing is definitely going to be up in the air, because a lot of people, Philly fans especially, are thinking that he's just going to come back from this and be dominant like he was, but I just don't think that's the case.
Look at Deshaun.
I don't
look
think
at Deshaun Watson.
They're 0-2.
Let me. I got a couple more questions, and I would be remiss if I did not get a Patriot explanation from the Patriot himself. Hello, Steamboat. Stick around. We'll be right back. Merrick. Hello, Steamboat. How you doing? Got a new show for your viewing. Having breakfast, just keep chewing. And with your support, we'll be cruising. Hello, Steamboat.
After all the jacks are in the boxes, and the clowns have all
What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick Lagorga. I'm here practicing another song for my show on YouTube, Good Morning Acoustics. You can follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Acoustics, or you can give me a like on Facebook at Good Morning Acoustics. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Steamboat is recorded live from the Chief Theater.
Thank you, Dr. Strange. Hello, Steamboat. We're back. I got the Harv. Give me some.
T-Sizzle.
Al, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I
Always.
want to get this off your
Straighten
hat.
up his collar, too.
Really?
That's on there.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Here, let's fix this, dude. You got people watching you. There's expectations there.
All right.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
representing the youth, man.
You got to do
Appreciate
something.
it.
Utes.
All right, so Pats, what do you want to...
Par for the course, man.
Slow
We saw-
start for you.
We talked about it last segment.
Yes,
What
sir.
happened last year? They got blown out worse
Yeah.
by Kansas City, who ended up laying an egg. Did they make the playoffs? Yeah, they made the playoffs last
Yeah,
year.
first
Lost
round
to
loss.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Right, and lost to Tennessee after having a 21-0 lead at
Yeah.
halftime. So, the Patriots are sort of figuring what they've got going on.
Yeah.
And they're going to make adjustments. They don't have Edelman. And they're trying to figure out what's going on in the backfield. They've got a bunch of injuries. The line is starting to gel. It's a relatively new, and that is a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville is a good team. Remember, they went to the AFC Championship last
Yes.
year and nearly beat the Patriots. So, and it was in Jacksonville, and it was hot as all get out. in
Jacksonville's for real.
Like, that's a sweat lodge.
Yeah.
Speaking of sweat lodge, I would be whining in the stands in Jacksonville. And honestly, we should be talking about the Broncos, because the Broncos are 2-0 right now.
They are, but I got to cover some other teams. Jacksonville for real?
Jacksonville is for real.
I feel like we kind of poked at Bortles for a little bit.
He looked really good.
Yeah.
He stepped up, man. That was his best game as a
I
pro.
think the Patriots' defense is also pretty horrendous, but when you let Keelan Cole and T.J. Yeldon just dominate the game versus you, I think there's some questions to be handled there. Stephon Gilmore, big defensive back they brought in from Buffalo, he couldn't cover Keelan Cole. And who even is Keelan Cole exactly? So I think that the Patriots' lack of talent, both on offense and defense, was quite gleaming. I think that Jalen Ramsey is the best defensive back in the game, and Gronk 2 catches for 15 yards.
Hey, he puts his money where his mouth is.
Ramsey?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
He
Played well.
talks, you know what?
Yep.
To a
Backs it up.
and then backs it up. I'm like, that guy is.
He's got back-to-back weeks now of shutting down Odell Beckham Jr. and Rob Gronkowski.
It looks like the Giants just shut themselves down. Big Blue doesn't feel like they're very good.
can't
like,
Giants?
like I would.
Are you
I would-
changing the subject?
I'm just
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
You brought up the Giants, and I'm like, that's not saying much, because I watched the game last night.
Dallas.
And I thought Dallas, who looked terrible in the first week,
Yep.
whew, I'm sorry, man.
Is
Giants.
it because it's the Giants, though? That's what made them look so well? Can we say that?
No, the thing about the Giants is they have all the pieces there.
Yeah.
You get
got
guys
Eli Manning.
you have guys like Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, and Odell Beckham Jr. and really on any other team that would be a deadly trio. But I think Brian's right there with Eli Manning. I think that he's on his last legs.
Is it time for him to join Peyton, join the band?
He
do some
got
commercials?
sacked. He got sacked 6 times last night. So obviously the offensive line is
helping
in a
him out.
bad
And they
spot.
lost a couple of offensive linemen, I heard, too.
But some of those plays that Eli Manning was making were
Okay.
just-
Now, I got to ask you guys, I believe there was another tie?
yeah, there was
First time in NFL history? 32
Packers
weeks?
Vikings.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, there were some bad calls in that,
Missed
in that
kicks.
game.
Missed
There were some
kicks.
missed kicks in that game.
Okay. Give me the bad calls. What?
Well,
Oh,
I
wait.
think the call on
Clay
Clay
Matthews.
Matthews at the end of the game.
All
was-
right, that's where I was going. What's going on? You can't lift him and land on him.
No,
I can't.
You can't throw your whole body weight on
Okay.
it.
And I guarantee, because when you look at the replay, he didn't.
He
Okay.
didn't.
The NFL is going to come back this week, say Wednesday,
Yeah.
and they're going to apologize and say that was a bad call.
The Packers are 0-1-1 because of this.
It was a horrible call.
It was.
And we saw it. We saw it all through Sunday. We saw it in the Rams Raiders game last Monday night. The fact that you can't hit the quarterback is just, it's silly. You know, you see these guys come in and they hit him. You know, some of these calls are like, what else are they supposed to do?
You're going 100 miles an hour. It's clean. I don't know. I think the NFL is going to adjust that. The great thing about the NFL is they change their rules and then they look at their rules, and you know, I think they're going to figure it out.
They will. Okay, you wanted to get some Bronco chat in. Is Corby going to be off the rocker today about?
I think so. That was a scary game.
Yeah.
I didn't get a whole lot of text from Corby during the game.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
Because I think he was a little nervous.
Okay.
Yeah.
And probably was in a room by himself. And when you go to halftime and you haven't scored a point and your offense has been 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and that defense was on the field as long as they were.
Oh.
You know, I mean, but again, I thought the Raiders played well. And then the Broncos figured some things out, started getting some runs. I love me some Phillip Lindsay.
Oh my God,
Picked
over
him up
100
in my
yards?
other fantasy league.
Over 100?
Yeah, defensively, the Broncos did a great job. I think, you know, they were able to get to Derek Carr. You know, they were able to stop Amari Cooper and Jared Cook. You know, Jared Cook had 180 yards versus the Rams.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they were able to shut him down. Amari Cooper, who's not necessarily a tough matchup, but you know,
you've been down on him. Did he have a couple of catches?
They were able to stop him too. I think he had 4 catches for 35, 40 yards. I mean,
How about was there any beast mode sighting? Did he show up?
Yeah, he had a couple runs.
Yeah, he had a couple
Early.
nice breaks, but
Okay.
you know, for the most part, the Broncos kept the Raiders contained. It was really just a matter of us moving the ball.
I mean, it could have been 21-0, and the Broncos D held them to 3 field goals.
Absolutely.
It was 9-0, and it could have easily been 21-0.
Yeah.
Broncos defense is studly.
How's Demaryius Thomas? I was listening to it on the
Oh,
radio.
my.
Is he need to go back to vegetarian? What's going on?
he had one drop that was just, you know, what's what I'm talking about at
Was
the
it in
very
zone?
end of the game.
I
No.
was listening
No.
to it because
For a first down, maybe?
No, it was
Right
for
in
a
his
first
hands?
down. There was like 15 seconds
Yeah.
left, and then they had to give it to that Tim Patrick kid the next play who actually made the play happen. But
who you said was absolutely atrocious.
you know, when you have a couple, you know, you can't,
Is this a new tall
you can't
kid?
tell me that he's the MVP now, Brian, just because he had one.
No,
catch.
but I said he was going to make the team. He was undrafted. He was again, and you're like, he's terrible. And
He's
say,
not-
so
he's
when
not-
you say stuff on Harvey's Huddle, Lowen, what you say gets thrown into this little cracked up head of
That's right.
mine.
I said the
And
Raiders were going to be last in the AFC West. Check the standings, Harv.
It's
Two
2
games?
games, brother.
They're
It's 2
still
games.
0-2,
We'll see.
And they look
All right.
hands down the worst team in the
They-
AFC West.
they-
You can pick these two up later this afternoon with
Harvey's
this
Huddle.
continued discussion. Harvey's Huddle, 3 o'clock. We're at the Press today, a social place. Get down there. If it's time to start prepping for Halloween, what are you going to dress up for? Griff
Not
got
quite
something?
sure. I'm sure Mom is on it.
Mom's on it.
Yeah,
Jacksonville Jaguar.
I'm hoping Merrick is Doctor Strange. I'm thinking me and Coop are going to Black Panther big and little is what we're dialing in. Call Sandy, get over to the costume shop if you're curious, and I'd say get there early. She had about 17 new boxes on Friday that she was cracking open.
fast.
She's grabbing gear from Hayden because they're purging. So if you have an idea what you want to do, or at least look at, get over there early. You
What
can
do you
call
mean
Sandy.
they're purging?
Hayden's store is condensing some stuff, maybe going to a smaller space, so she's going to get more costumes to bring back here. All right?
Sweet.
So
you
the
can check
inventory
them out.
will be big.
Go see Sandy. Give her a call if you want, 846-2057. She said I could do that, so I am. And let's get her set up. Also this week coming up is the Home Sustainable Tour. If you feel like you got a sustainable home, or you want to at least get checked out, see how you could improve the sustainability of your home, check Yampa Valley, yvsc.org. We're going to get Cameron, maybe Ann on here, give us a little idea what's going on. 3 o'clock today. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Home game Friday for this guy. Let's go out and support.
Christening Gardner Field.
Yep. Are we blackout?
Yeah, we are blackout.
Right?
Yeah.
Blackout.
Yep.
I might just go naked in my birthday suit.
I'm ready.
All right. Hello, Steamboat. Have a great day.
I got a
We'll see
visual.
you guys tomorrow.